on the second date, he literally told the girl, he was like, listen, no games. I'm looking for a wife. So if you want to go on a second date with me, we're meeting at the bookstore and we're going to read this book on all the qualities that I want in a marriage. And if you really want to date me seriously, we have to go through the book like front to back, and then we can continue to see each other.
Are you serious?
And he's been married to her for 18 years.
God. I say that I think the three of us are the best looking for of the four of us.
Yeah, specifically me.
What? No, Jared's cute.
Oh, he is cute. Right.
I like Jarrett. Apparently the gays from Oku really liked Jarrett and I.
I heard that the gays, did you hear that the gays they kind of fell in love with Jarrett?
Well, I know last time we were in Porto Vallarta, we ended up being like in the middle of like gay town unexpectedly. And we went downstairs and there was like bear night everywhere, posters all over the wall. And he was like walking around like this. He's like, I'm afraid, as all the guys were checking him out.
So bears are what? Like a bearded,
hairy,
burly gay?
Yeah.
So Jared would be a bear.
Yeah.
Jared's bear.
Oh my God, this whole time
He's
we're
a
calling him
straight
Jared Bear.
bear.
It's like we've been kind of like seeding it subconsciously.
That's nice.
Yeah, but he's very not gay.
Yeah, apparently they were super into him.
Okay. I think of between me, Brandon, and Jared, I think Jared's the least gay of the three of us.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
Albert carries around chapstick.
Chapstick?
Oh my God. I love that
spray,
though. I mean, you
lotion.
need that to be around girls. You want like nice hands. You want nice smelling breath. You want nice lips. Like,
I'm not
I feel like
understanding
that's
the distinction,
fair.
but I'll take it. It's fine.
Jared's for sure the least gay.
These
The
gays
most
loved us the other
cringy
day.
thing is a guy with the opposite of that. Dry lips, disgusting breath.
Yes, I'm curious in your take on this, Anna, from a female perspective. So they did the whole thing where the sommelier comes over and starts saying wine speak. He's like, it's got a lot of nodes of like pears and like eagle's talent. And I'm like, yeah, love all that stuff. And then he like picks me a bottle of wine. I don't know why I'm the guy that chooses. And you know how they do the whole thing where they show you the bottle. They're like, yep, that's a bottle. And they pour like this much in a thing, right? And then I do the correct
He's like, I wasn't lying. I had it back there.
and I do the normal thing where you like open it for
Swishy,
air.
swishy.
You put the nose in it and then you take a sip. And this is like this weird social moment where you're like, I'm deciding whether or not we're purchasing the bottle.
And you're deciding for a whole table.
But I didn't. Yesterday was the first time that I like hated the bottle. But I've drank one sip of a whole bottle, so there was a weird social pressure to not be like.
I don't know what the protocol is there.
I don't know what that is either.
I've had that happen to me before.
Is it weird if the guy's like, no, like this is not good?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes you too
You're like this is pig swill.
It's too too uptight and stuck up, or is it like, would you want a guy to be?
I mean, have
this
you
is
ever
terrible?
had that type of wine before?
No, not at all.
I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't feel like it's stuck up or weird. I mean, I would just recommend not trying it for the first time when it comes to a whole bottle.
It's a weird spot though when the sommelier is recommending it because he's like, "This is good stuff," and you're like, "Either I'm wrong or you're wrong," and I don't know who to call out right now.
I mean, or you guys just have different taste in wine. That's fine.
Then I had like a weird moment because now I've, like you said, I've decided for the whole table, and the wine was, I don't know, Brandon.
Everybody agreed that the wine wasn't good, but we all were like,
Oh, none of us liked it at all.
No,
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was awful. And it was a $175 bottle of wine. And I'm just like,
oh, what a waste.
this is not what I want to do. So you're saying you don't want the guy to be
I would recommend getting a glass of the wine before like deciding on a whole bottle, especially if you're going to feel like you're put in a weird place.
That's not how they do it. They usually just like bring it to you.
Wine not only looks and sounds and tastes so similar for me, I actually have like latched onto a couple names that I know, and then I think that I know, and I'll order it, but it's completely different because there's like not a fucking like accent mark on the end of it, and then I ruin the whole thing.
That's bad.
Dating tip: stick to what you know.
I think that Anna, maybe because she dates Jared, is more flexible to, how do you say this? People acting uncouth in situations. Like Jared's not really like, the protocol is to do this.
Jared would be like, "Oh God,
no, this is terrible. What is this? Like, I'm out."
Yeah. Jared would be like, take it back. What do you
respect
Jared's
that,
not like the situation calls for this. Let me behave this way. Jared's like, no, hey, what is this? Crap.
I mean, if it's like you're about to drop 175, if it tastes like garbage, I would say no. This tastes like garbage.
So I think
feel
you're like a more
so different.
I feel like it's weird if you have to like hide the way that you feel and you can't say it out loud just
Depends
because
on
of your
what
environment.
date number it is or who you're with. So like last night, we couldn't have possibly done it. We were like with people we were trying to like schmooze with.
like one of the people at our table was like a manager of the restaurant, like a GM.
But wait,
kind of
if the bottle ended up being bad and everyone at the table agreed, how did that better the situation?
Because nobody wanted to call Albert out for the situation, and then nobody
they all
wants to
thought
like.
that I chose it, and then
We're like,
I didn't choose it. I kind of got like superimposed onto me. The guy's like, this has no, like I said, it's got like, this has like sour cream and onion in it. I'm like, perfect. I love Lay's. And like, he brought me this like terrible tasting bottle of wine. And
Thank you for drinking it, Helen and Liz. We appreciate you.
Oh, the experience was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm saying thanks for drinking Albert's shitty bottle.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault at all. It was exclusively, I guess you could say, my fault. And the sommelier, I think he was drunk. Yeah. Also, what a weird job that is to be like a professional. Like you're basically
you're kind of like that, but with White Claw.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm getting notes of artificial sweetener and cheap vodka.
Yeah, it's a sommelier is like a really fancy alcoholic. He's just like, he comes over, he's like, let me tell you about this stuff.
Yeah, it was like a frat guy in college. He's like, would you like to have a keg stand?
Yeah. Is that something that matters to you, like Anna, when you were dating Jared or anybody in the first few dates, like the guy being able to be like prim and proper in a romantic setting or a high-end
She's
restaurant?
still waiting for Jared to do that.
No?
Oh, he's taken me to very nice restaurants. I remember like a month in, we went to Vegas together and we went to my first like really nice Michelin star restaurant. He took me to my first one, actually.
The three of us went to a really nice restaurant the other day. He was already drunk when he showed up. He was like slamming his hands on the table and he goes, "There is no budget. Keep bringing us food."
Yeah, but
it was unbelievable.
Even within that framework of it. So like, yes, he can bring you to a nice restaurant, but there's small nuances within that, right? So for instance, like when you go to a restaurant, I think something I recommend for you guys is you should order for the girl, but let her choose. What I mean by that is you should look at the menu collaboratively.
I mean, and that when we went to Staccato together, he told the waiter everything that I loved. And then he just curated a menu based off everything that I loved and I didn't have to choose. So I thought the food was amazing.
Okay. That's an interesting way to do it. See, I do it differently. I collab with the girl and then I'm like, oh, what do you like? This looks good. So we make an internal decision. And then when the server comes, the man should tell the server what to.
Yeah, you should actually translate it.
You should translate. Be like, oh, she'll have this, that, and the other, and I'll have that.
I like that.
Whereas I think sometimes Jared's more like, oh, I want this, and then it's on you. It's like whatever you get. Like I don't know if he like does that extra step.
I do. I usually do the selection, and then I run it by the committee, and then I'll like confirm that there's nothing on there that they don't like, and then I'll deliver the order. So I will choose, but then I'll check in. I'll be like, "Are you okay with like clams and oysters?" And if they're like, "No, like not so much," then I'll like sub that out and then proceed with.
I've seen some guys that try to basically order for the girl. They just like pick.
That is
the girl.
so annoying. I hate that.
I think that's really bad.
That's awful.
Right? When they're just like, "You're gonna have this," it's like, "What's
completely uncalibrated?"
Have guys done that to you? Like the straight up like kids menu?
I mean, I would never let a man do that. I don't think that's ever happened to me before, to be honest.
Good for you.
Because if anything, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you can get that. That's you. I'll get this. I don't want that.
Albert tried to do it to me the other night. He's like, he'll have the burger. I'm like, I'll have the chicken.
I did not do that to you.
You better not.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, he'll have his second entree will be the burger, and I'll get this.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah,
I think that's just like a misapplication of guys thinking like, oh, I got to order for the girl, and they just like,
what's fake macho?
Yeah, they just like screw up the whole process.
Yeah,
it's fake macho.
I feel like more. I love like how Jared kind of just told him what I wanted, and then he decided what's best.
Yeah,
because
I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Dinner dates are interesting, man. Dinner dates are like high leverage. Like it's
tough. Super tough. There was a long time when I refused to do dinner first or second date until
second. I know your first date
until like late 20s.
So what was your second date then?
I used to do something more like friends, hangouty, still like on that like active level where it's like out and about, not like
social circle kind of thing.
It could be social circle, even though I usually prefer that to be like later in the interaction, but I'd rather do a social circle than do like a sat down at dinner because I just didn't feel like my like straight 2-hour conversation skills were at that level. Like they might have been earlier than I allowed myself to do it, but then like later in life, I was like, okay, like this is actually the play because guys can't do this.
Yeah, I'll give you a fun one for the guys that are watching this and maybe want to try dinner dates. Here's a fun one I like to do is you do the role reversal. So for instance, you guys probably know I'm horrific with spicy food. Like I cannot eat any spicy food. And when I'm meeting a new girl, it's kind of like a non-masculine trait, right? To be a wuss with spicy. So I'll tell the girl that I can't have any spicy. I make fun of myself. I make it like, self-deprecating. And then when the server comes, I'll ask him about a dish. Let's say I'm going to order I'm like, hey, is it calamari? Is it spicy? Because she's really bad with spicy. I love spicy, but dude, she's the worst. So I flip the role of what's going on to put it on like the girl as like a playful, because now we're we're building our own inside joke because she's already laughed at my lack of spicy. But then when I present it to the stranger, I flip the roles playfully. So that's
I've seen you do that with bartenders too. You're like, what would you recommend for like a light, refreshing, like seltzer type beverage? It's for her, it's not for me.
Oh, yeah.
But just like if you were in her shoes, what would you do that?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, great, like she'll have that, and then a whiskey for
Yeah. Like I ordered an Aperol Spritz the other day at a bar, literally an Aperol Spritz. And I literally was like, hey buddy, don't judge me for this. And when he brought it over, I go, this isn't a Budweiser. I go, it's fine, I'll take it. Like, it's fine. it's like really for me, but I'm like trying to like play around with that stuff.
It's so important though, like that like loose energy of like
That's important.
As long as like if you start making fun of yourself, then you get away with so much more down the road. But if you're like, I'm gonna take this serious, like in your head, then you're setting yourself up for failure because every error is gonna throw you off.
Yeah, I just think guys in those dinner date scenarios turn into like an interview. Where
Right.
It's like, what did you do?
So
What did you
bad.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like where are you from? And it's like question sack, and it's boring and it's not
And they're
interactive.
so in their head, they're not even listening to what she's saying.
If you do
Yes.
it properly, the girl should end up speaking 65+% of the time. I literally, like, at the end of the date, the goal should be like, I feel like I've been rambling. I want to know about you. And then they almost like flip it and they start interviewing you, which is actually really great.
So what you just said there is something I coach a lot. And I think it's so misapplied. Guys think they have to do so much and say so much. And it's like, let the girl give your, like you said, like as I let her give your opinions on what she likes and what she doesn't like, and let her like create that little fun, interactive thing. Like, you know, when you were dating early stages, did you feel like there was pressure to go to a dinner date with a guy? Like you felt like it might be trapped? Because that's another thing I heard. If girls don't want to commit to the length of a dinner date, because if it's going poorly, you're kind of trapped there. Did you ever feel like, shit, I don't want to go to a dinner date with this guy because it might suck, and now
harder to eject.
Now I'm stuck there.
No, I never felt that way before. I feel like I just got to know the person via text, had phone call, and by then I know whether or not they're kind of like garbage or not.
You'd make them have a phone call before?
Most likely, not always. If not a phone call, a FaceTime.
FaceTime.
And if not
FaceTime's
that,
always-
minimum
always
like
FaceTime.
like voice notes.
Yeah.
So I can
God,
at least
FaceTime.
hear what their voice is like.
Yeah.
The more you
this
can
is
do
for
to-
online dating.
yeah.
dating,
Yeah, and
obviously,
a first date would never be a dinner date. So like I would kind of feel out how they are just based off the first date, and then based off the first date and us chatting in between to the second. If the second date was like a dinner date, I would know whether or not I would want to be like in that scenario.
What he's asking is, would you, if the guy suggested a dinner date, would you like try to push away from it?
On a first date, yeah, unless there's a lot of friends there. Yeah, that's weird.
It's just so high compliance, man. What if he goes the opposite? What if he's like, let's go grab coffee? I've never asked a girl
Not once.
for a coffee date.
Not once.
in
That's
my
not
life.
a date.
Not
That's
once.
just like a casual gathering. How do you expect anything to happen at a coffee date?
I know.
That's not a date.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Brent told me the other day that he was doing a date at like noon on a Sunday. And I'm like,
Brunch. The brunch.
oh, it was straight up brunch. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So you had a reservation for brunch.
Correct. 1:30. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Came
got you.
over first. We had some champagne,
So that's a good idea. I think brunch is reasonable, right? Because it's like,
and we sat at the bar, so we didn't.
you didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
They sat me at the table, but it was
Move the
interview
mics.
style.
Move the mics so you can hear.
Okay, so
Huh?
Move the mics.
the
so
only
you can hear.
Give me
table was the only table. Christ. The only here we go. The only table was sitting across, and I'm like, no, I'm never sitting across from a girl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the other option? It was like outside, which was hot. I'm like, or the bar. So we did the bar.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Love that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think like coffee date is like, where do you go from that? It's like
Yeah.
we go to
I don't know.
Starbucks.
Brunch is cool, but honestly, like I'd rather something interactive. I remember like Jay's in my first date, like we started playing chess. Like something where it's
You play
like,
with your chest?
yeah, chess.
Oh, chess. Sorry.
Yeah.
I used to go for active like all the time.
Oh, you
like,
love the active.
yeah, I was
like
big.
arcades,
invented the
pool,
Dave and Buster's
darts, go karts.
I don't know if I invented it, but I definitely perfected the
Maybe
barcade
that was my
situation.
idea. I don't remember what it was. It goes a long time.
But yeah, I always used to go for active. But again, I think I did it out of fear. And then I like sucked it up and I did like a string of like, no, we're doing dinner first date. And this girl is going to be like amazed at how this conversation flows. And like oftentimes we like close the restaurant down.
So I had this date idea, and I've had it for years, and I never did it. But I always thought it'd be cool. I'm gonna share with you guys. So you could just be honest. If you think it's terrible, tell me it's terrible. If you
Love
think it's good, tell me it's good. And so the idea was going back. This is like I came up with this like 15 years ago when I first started coaching. So the idea was you go to a Barnes and Nobles, and you go there and you walk around. They usually have like little coffee things, right? And then at one point you say, okay, listen, let's let's separate here for 10 minutes and we'll meet back at this little table in 10 minutes. You go find a handful of books that either mean something to you, represent who you are, or something you're interested in. And I'll do the same. And then we'll compare what each other's like answer is.
I think it's rough for a first date because you're basically kind of going to that like weird interview place. And I think for the right girl, like a true like book nerd type girl, like she would absolutely love it and think it's adorable. But I think it's like a little bit interviewy of like trying to answer questions. And then I also think it's going to be tough to transition out of there.
Well, for me, here's where my take on it.
Honestly, I'd like to chime in really quick. It's really funny is I just did a reaction video to this guy. He's like a multimillionaire and I forget his name, but he's really big everywhere. And on the second date, he literally told the girl, he was like, listen, no games. I'm looking for a wife. So if you want to go on a second date with me, we're meeting at the bookstore and we're going to read this book on all the qualities that I want in a marriage. And if you really want to date me seriously, we have to go through the book like front to back, and then we can continue to see
Are you serious?
And
awful.
He's been married to her for
Oh my
18 years.
God.
He like
That's so on the nose.
He wanted to get her like
I
a
hate
$30,000 ring, and she's like, "No, I don't want that. They live in like a $3 million house." She's like, "I'd rather go on vacation. I don't want anything." And he's like, "They have 3 kids now. She doesn't want any."
I did see this. It was like an Indian guy or whatever.
Dark hair.
Yeah,
like
I saw this.
yeah.
I remember I saw this.
He's like a really famous guy. I forget his name. Like my opinion,
Is
I was
that the
like,
guy you
that's
did
like
a video on the
lot.
other day?
I did. I covered his
Yeah.
thing the other day. Yeah,
And
that's nuts.
they're happy.
Wow.
I mean, for some people it works.
So-
some it doesn't.
so Anna, my take on that is, and I like that because he was direct.
Yeah.
And to Brandon's point, yeah, it might be interviewing, but what I like it about is like I have a very diverse set of like interests and skills. So I think it's a good way to showcase who you are without bragging, right? So I could bring the girl up like a book about poker and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I've done this. A book about like
So
baseball.
I feel
I've
like
done
it
a book about
could
stand-up
be
comedy.
good, but I don't think it should be the main part of the date, and it shouldn't be the first part of a date.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, coffee, like, no, it's just a casual gathering. But if it's like, okay, we're gonna look at books, we're gonna do coffee, then we're gonna go to like an arcade, like we're gonna do like a whole bunch of different stuff in one date, then it's fine.
I think it's super high risk. I think it's something really cool. I'm not sure if any of those like bookstores stay open late, but it'd be something really cool to do after dinner.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a good like.
I feel like that might
Maybe
be a
before.
snooze fest.
You don't think
You're
before dinner?
tired after dinner, and usually
I
after,
think
yeah,
before.
I think, yeah, I don't think after dinner is the.
I just don't do a lot
way.
of daytime dates. Daytime dates are like more relationshipy for me.
I don't like daytime dates.
I'm
Not to
an
start.
evening guy. I'm an evening.
Here's an interesting
I feel
one
like-
because we were talking about it the other day. I like to eat late. And so like I tend to have my dates later, actually, even though it's funny because I'm not a late person.
Yeah.
But when do you start your dates? What time do you usually start
So
your dates?
this is a good one for me. I eat dinner late personally, but I think for whatever reason, I tend to have good dates and they tend to go long. So I like to start the date early as possible to give it room for the date to go long without the girl being like, it's getting late. So like normally I might eat dinner at 8:30, 9, whatever. But if I start a dinner date at 9, by the time you get done and you want to do something else, it's like 1:30 and the girl's like tired. But if I start the date at 7, even though I never would eat dinner at 7 normally, it gives you more time in the back
See,
end.
you and Jared are on the same side of this, and I'm on the polar opposite. And I'm curious to get Anna's take because I want the date to end where the girl wants more. I don't want to reach a point of exhaustion.
Wow.
And so if we get to this point where the restaurant closes at 11 or 11:30 or whatever, and like I said, so if I like to start the date 8:30, 8:45 for dinner, and then they're like picking up and I'm like, oh my God, like we closed the place down and the girl like wants the conversation to keep going. Well, that rolls us into date number 2. I don't want to ever get through everything on date number 1 ever. I want
completely
the
into the
cut.
side of this.
I know you are. I know
Yeah.
you
And
are.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a second. But I want to take Anna's point on this or what.
I feel like regardless, like a second date should be like on the table. There should always there's no way you can talk about everything on a first date.
But he and Jarrett like these marathon dates.
It's not a marathon date. It's a momentum opportunity. So I was doing a coaching call right before this.
I'm so on the other side of
No,
this.
I was doing a coaching call before this, and I was reviewing a guy's POV video, and there was a moment where the momentum broke because the wingman came in and it like stalled it out. And it's like if I get a date going and things are going well, and we're building rapport, and we're building inside jokes, we're building familiarity, we're learning about each other. I can almost have like 3 dates in one night. I know that sounds crazy, but
I like that. Personally, I like that.
By the end of that first date,
I don't want it.
it feels the girl and I feel like we've known each other for a lot longer.
So every girl,
you don't want it.
No.
So
what's the downside of
honestly though, every girl is used to a guy taking them to one place and that's it. If you're a guy that takes them to multiple places and gives them multiple experiences, you stand out like a sore thumb because you're something new and refreshing and different.
And to her point,
it's such a green flag.
The big thing that Anna said there, to her point, is you stand out.
And you can
because
really gauge her interest.
It's so competitive.
Because you could really find out if she's going to cancel. She's like, oh no, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like you could really tell. My
schedule is limited. My time is limited. I don't want to know. I don't want it to be like, I think I like that girl. Maybe I'll take her out again. Like I have some students and friends that get in that spot where I'm like, oh, you hung out with this girl. So do you like her? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, you don't know? It's like you should know or not know.
I'm old school and there's no more like waiting by the phone, but I want to create that as close as possible. I don't want to microwave the relationship. I don't want to microwave the relationship.
Your brain's microwaved. I think you're off on this point, buddy. And
no
look,
shot.
Anna's female perspective. She's like, your time is valuable, right?
That was like one thing about Jarrett that
took her
honestly,
on a 14-hour date.
Oh, that's
I was not 14 hours.
Dude.
But
Jarrett's like, what are you doing this week? And she's like, oh, I'm free these days. He's like, no, I need the week. I need the whole week. Jarrett once went on a date with
a long day.
Jarrett went on a date with a girl for 4 days one time. Like literally. He's like, you're gonna want to bring 6 changes of clothes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anna, do you feel if when you leave that first date that it's important for the guy to have cemented your future plans? Like, do you feel like it's important?
Yes. 100%, or at least seed the idea of where you're going to go next.
Seed, yes. I like seeding. I don't like hard planning. I like there to be...
You're not planning the subsequent date?
I'm seeding and I'm like adding intrigue of like, maybe there's this restaurant you've got to try, or maybe it's this barcade.
Well, that's seeding.
Or so I'm seeding, but I'm never cementing, ever.
Oh, see,
I don't want to.
I think that like talking about it, you don't have to say like 8 p.m. on Sunday we're doing it, but I think it's like a good way to end the night.
You can say like this week, but I don't want to like have the hard plans of like me, you, Friday. I don't want that.
Like if the guy doesn't do that, Anna, do you feel like he's not interested in you? Or you're not interested in him?
If he's seeding the idea or makes hard plans, it's obvious that he's interested. But if there's neither of those factors, he's not interested. I'm not going to reach out to him.
If he doesn't bring up like a future date.
I'm not going to reach out to him. I'm going to ghost him.
I think that's right, though, because I think intuitively, beyond because there's the strategy side of this, guys, that we're doing it like, what is the correct strategy? But there's also like the self-evaluating part of like, do I like this girl enough to want to see her again? I think intuitively, if I don't start thinking about a future date with a girl, it means that in my heart of hearts, I'm not that interested in her.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
It's like, oh, it's going well. And I've had girls that have like, I actually had girls that I don't have a lot of bad dates, but I had one girl that I took out. I made a mistake. I did an online date, idiot. And I wasn't that attracted to the girl. She was very cool. And then at the end of the night, I like walked to her car and then like ended the date. I was like friendly, whatever. Do we did? And I'm nice to the girls regardless. I still pay for the drinks, whatever, the whole thing. And then she sends me a text. She's like, I had a good time. By the way, I can't believe you didn't even try for a kiss. And I'm just like,
she's bold.
No, she said that. She goes, no kiss, nothing. You didn't even try. And I'm just like,
I'm not interested.
I don't even remember what I said, but I was like,
did you send her the statistic where you're like, well, I tried the last 99 out of 1,000. So, or 999 out of 1,000. So I just figured I wouldn't on this one.
Wait, what?
I'm saying like you could have like been an asshole in that spot and been like, yeah, like I didn't want to because I wasn't feeling it. I feel like a girl's got to know in that spot.
I'm real bad with conflict and like letting people down. So
you were just like, oh, like, yeah, I hadn't brushed my teeth in weeks.
No, I was just like, the thing is that, friendship is a very important part of human existence. And, sometimes friends need friends. And when there's friends, you need more friends. I was just trying to be like, you seem very cool, but I'm not like into you
not
like
interested.
that.
So you didn't like evaluate the person properly before the date?
I tried. It's how much can you get from these fucking online profiles? That's why I don't like it.
That's why it's so honestly, FaceTime, is really ideal. So bad with catfishes. I know one time Jay and I got catfish. It was terrible.
You guys were catfished by a gal?
Oh my God. Yo, she used like 5-year-old photos. We called her. At
least she didn't use photos of a 5-year-old.
We even FaceTimed her, but she used such a high angle. We didn't notice when we saw her in person and my jaw literally dropped to the floor. He literally turned around and started laughing.
Do you know how many times before you, of course, Jarrett was catfished?
God.
Like he had a website called Catfish Me. Like it was.
You might as well be the show on MTV.
It was weekly, and I would go Jarrett, make sure you FaceTime this girl. And he'll go, good idea. Thanks for reminding me. And then he'll come back from the date 45 minutes after leaving and just be like, that wasn't her. Like, I'm telling you, it happened 12 times.
So he's like,
Oh,
Francine.
man.
She's like, no, it's Fred now. It's like,
I'm telling you, he refused until I literally was like rooting for it to happen. And I was like,
teach him a lesson.
to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what you get. I was like, I hope this,
I don't know if
this
it's
is a.
because I'm a girl, but I'm blessed to say I've never been catfished.
You just said you got catfished.
Well,
not
like
individually.
single.
You're like,
individually.
it had to do with Jarrett.
By a man.
Yeah, that was a girl. It's different. It was this guy.
Oh, it's so different.
I don't understand, and I may have said this on a different program, but I don't understand people who catfish, because why would they want to see a person and the first feeling the person has is disappointment? To just the first second they see is like,
Yeah. I want that disappointment to be a little later
I
with
think
me.
the mentality. I think I understand the mentality, because if they were to show them their true selves, they wouldn't even get communication from like anyone or like the person that they really want.
do they think that the person's going to be like, it's okay that I'm utterly disappointed now, but I'm going to feel better soon?
I think they hope that all the texting or phone calls will outweigh the disappointment in their looks.
I root for
Honestly, that's what I believe.
Yeah, it's so
I root
tough
for people
though.
to be like a little like not photogenic and like me to be like pleasantly surprised. I think that that's so much better than being catfished and somebody using like, Filterella situation.
Did they use like a
Hate that.
different person? Oh, you said 5-year-old photos.
Yeah,
so it
they were
was
like
them, but they
5-year-old.
just look very different.
Way bigger hair.
bigger.
Yeah, way bigger, way
Oh,
different.
way bigger is a tough one.
That's common.
It was
That's the
like
most common.
it looked like there was two of her.
Oh man, pobrecita.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
So Anna, you said you and Jarrett were catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through this, because I believe that you guys are, and I hate giving Jarrett credit, but I give you guys credit. I think you guys are, if dating in the world is the combustible engine vehicle, I think you guys are self-driving cars. And what I mean by that is you guys' relationship, the fact that you have an open aspect to it, I think is only going to become more common and more accepted and less, kind of like people trying to trash it. So what are the mechanics of this? You guys have a joint, is it a Hinge or online dating something?
Yeah, we have just joined online dating profiles. Sometimes, honestly,
So it says like Jared and Anna in one
yeah,
profile.
but honestly, we also have just him, and I catfish as him because it helps me as a dating coach for men.
That page probably doesn't do as well.
It honestly doesn't do bad. I just don't respond enough, so he picks up the slack. I'm a girl, so I don't text as much and as fast.
But it'll
as I
show
should.
like Jarrett and your picture in this profile, and it says we are a couple.
So
looking for
we
a
usually do like just a single profile, and then there's pictures of us together on there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And it's just you
because
guys.
when it
You guys
says
looking for girls
flat out,
only, or is Jarrett getting a little weird sometimes?
no, only girls.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right. So, I mean, he is the third least gay, then I guess.
yeah.
Okay. And then how do you guys? Is it a joint decision? Is it like I
it's
like this
joint.
girl, he likes this girl? Are you like bringing the girl and saying, these are the reasons I think this girl should be part of it, and he's on the other side?
Yeah, like what was the decision process on the girl that brought the box of hair?
The box set.
that-
Oh my
how-
god,
how
I
did that girl
love
sneak
her.
through?
Oh my god, I don't want to say her name.
Don't say her
Yeah,
name.
I
Don't
can't say her
Don't say her
name.
name.
Let's just
I
call
love
her
her.
unattractive.
How about
Oh,
hairbox?
okay.
What do you feel about hairbox?
I think she is so cute.
Were you drinking the whole weekend?
Shut up. What?
Anna. That was the only time you were like,
what she looked
you
like.
got catfished and you were like, it was okay with it. I
She
saw
has
that girl.
a nice
I would never
body,
judge a girl.
a nice chest, nice
girl
booty
was-
situation, nice hair.
That girl was Anna. Come on. It's just us here
I
and a
thought she was cute. I love her.
Were you drinking though? I'm serious.
Do you guys?
Not enough.
That girl was terrible and traveled with a box of hair. She showed up. I go, oh,
She's
what's
a
this?
cosmetologist. Of course she has hair.
Yeah, that's
I
a
have more hair
cosmetologist. So
than
that's
her.
like
My
makeup
husband-
and stuff like that. And then there's
Yeah.
people that travel with like people's scalps in their in their luggage. That was insane. I almost had a freak out. I was like, are there a bunch of squirrel tails in here?
I think you spilled some.
I'm sorry.
And then I saw her and I was like, I wouldn't imagine this from a lot of people, but I could see this from. I could see this girl traveling with a box of hair. She came back for another visit, all fingernails.
Oh my god.
It was unbelievable. That girl was.
So do you guys when you meet these girls and the situation gets hairy, do you guys do you
We've never
plan
had
like
it
a
get
date
hairy
or an
before.
outing, or is
Oh
it
my
like
God.
So usually I have like a girls' day with her. We have an us day where it's
you
all
do
of us.
you do the pre-vetting? Like you do it first?
I mean, it depends on his schedule,
interesting.
honestly.
Yeah, they try on some different hairstyles.
I love it. I get my girls' day. We all get to have our day.
Hold on. Producer Brent, did you see this girl, the box of hair girl? Blink twice if you're in Milwaukee.
Box of hair
Oh,
girl.
man.
I mean, okay, in my defense, or in their defense.
You said she was attractive.
Yeah.
Don't recall. In their defense,
Right.
I will say this, Brandon. And don't take this wrong way, because I believe that you guys are the future. Teach them well and let
Are
them
you
see
telling
the
her
way.
not to wig out?
Nice. I think that what they're doing is still considered non-traditional, right?
Mhm.
So because it's a little non-traditional, the pool of people you're selecting from is smaller, right?
Right.
For like the girls to openly agree to meet a couple that's a stranger from the internet, you're dealing with a smaller pool of people. You're dealing with some more alternative lifestyle folks.
Oh, she was alternative.
Yeah. So within that lifestyle, you're going to have some hits and misses.
Some hair people. Yeah. I gotcha.
It's going to be, there's going to be some oddities.
I don't know.
But I think it's going to expand. I think in the next 20 years, that's
The way of the future.
the way of the future.
The way of the
that
future.
they're doing is going to get more and more common.
I hope so.
I really do.
I hope so.
Did you guys have a conversation about that early in your relationship? Like, hey, we might both be into these factors. How did it?
So, I mean, when we actually, the day we decided we're official, we kind of like talked about it.
No
we
time
literally
like the
just talked
present.
about
Huh?
it. The day
Day
we
one.
became official,
He's like, you want
we
to be my
talked.
girlfriend, and also, may we have other
No,
girlfriends?
no. So it was
He's
actually,
like, wow, this went so well. What do you think about doing it again?
all right. So if you guys actually want to hear the tea,
Yes.
it was my idea because he was in an
Oh.
open marriage in the past, and I told him flat out, I'm not comfortable with you sleeping with people behind my back. If I'm sleeping with people, I'm not with you. What's the point? So I told flat out, you're not allowed to get with people without me. You're not allowed to do that. That's fucked up. I'm not allowed
You
to do
said
that.
without me.
Yeah.
And then he went, aha.
Yeah. So I
Loophole.
mean, it's very clear. I'm like bi-curious and I like to like have fun. So it's just our thing. We do it together. No like communication behind each other's back or anything like
You're never
weird.
pushing for any dudes in there, are you?
No.
Okay, good. That's cool.
No.
I mean, I'm just curious. I was trying to see what I get in the situation. Okay, so you presented it and he was amenable. And now you guys are, it's not always, right? You guys like kind of sometimes have is it a point where you're looking for a
I can't
regular?
get a fucking sentence out. He goes, is there like a day of the week where are you guys like,
No, this is fun.
are certain months off limits? Like, how do you
mean,
feel about
it's
Are
not
you
July?
looking for a regular player or are you looking
You're-
for
you can't
more?
fucking get a sentence out.
I said you're looking for a regular player, you're looking for more of a revolving door.
They
It
like a girl who
depends.
can
I
try
know,
on a bunch
like,
of different
so,
hairstyles
I
and be
mean,
multiple.
honestly, we've only had like two girls that we really like, and they've like stayed with us a few times. So
They
on
talk
and
about it
off.
like adopting a puppy. They're like,
Yeah.
we really
Yeah,
like
I
this
mean,
one.
and then it's like, I
Well,
mean,
it's not adopting.
respectfully-
They're like, what's the other word? They're fostering.
Rescues.
Yeah,
for
rescues.
like, yeah, just like a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, you can't stay here forever, but enjoy your weekend. Yeah. It's a sex hotel. It's a sex B&B.
I will tell you, it is fun for me sometimes when we come over here to record podcasts or hang out and I see a girl that's around.
You're like,
I'm like,
uh-huh.
is this Anna's friend or is this Anna's friend?
Yeah, like, where's the box of hair? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
like, are they going to go in there and hang out or are they going to, hang out? Like, it's like fun. It's fun for me. It's like it's an adventure game.
Dude, my favorite thing was yesterday. So I obviously now have moved into the same building as them, and I stumble home drunk last night, and I come in and I knock on their door, and I just hear, "No, leave, go home. We're about to have fun." That was the best moment of my whole life. I fucking, yeah,
you
I
literally
laughed my way
barged
home.
in when she already left. We're done playing games. It's our time. I was like, get the fuck.
Dude, I loved every second of it. I didn't argue. I didn't do anything. I was like, you go, girl. She goes, no, leave, go home. We're about to have fun. Jarrett looks at me. He goes, it's fucking unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fun, huh?
Yeah.
I like that. We're about to have fun. That's nice.
Yeah. I was like,
that.
I like Parcheesi. She's like, not that game.
You go. It's like, I'm in for the game.
Yeah.
You're like, you get away. Get out of here.
She's like, 2 words, me and him.
I don't think Brandon could ever do this. From your, I don't think, buddy, I think you're an evolved, progressive, outside the box, whatever term you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
I can never picture you doing the open, flexible, malleable relationship thing. Do you think you could?
I'm super flexible and malleable.
No, you could never, right?
Yeah. The opportunity to disappoint 2 women would be something.
You're just out. You wouldn't even consider it. So, girl approaches you. She's dating
Well, you just can't
She goes,
disappoint the
"Brandon,
main one.
She
You
goes,
know what I'm saying? So-
to use your term, she goes, I'm bi-curious
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be open to things. What's your stance here? Are you just being like, I'm out. This isn't going to work for me? What are you really saying?
Why would I say that?
I'm curious.
He's like, I'd be open to
Yeah,
it.
like,
If the
why would I say
opportunity
that?
Oh, you'd be
presents
open to it?
himself, I'm not going to say no.
I mean, again, like, why would I shut that down immediately? So, like, open to it, not open to it. Why would I just be like, no?
I feel like it would
you have a
only
conversation
become an issue if the guy like ends up becoming more invested in the second, and if
Yeah.
it's too much of a revolving door, it's too common because it's just me and Jay. Like we'll have them join us, we'll introduce ourselves to other girls, but it's not constant. It's not like nonstop. It's not every weekend. It's not every month. It's like random.
You both have to like
So,
want to have it the same
yeah.
amount too, because if like one's chasing it too much, then the other's gonna be like.
then it's weird. Yeah. Then it's honestly very easy to know if like one person's trying to be like not trustworthy.
My long and short answer is relationships are really effing tough, and so if somebody thinks they have an idea that can like solve it, and it's like progressive or different, like just have a conversation.
You can always tell when Brandon's tightening up when he actually doesn't say fucking and goes effing. That's him. Like,
No, I actually like to say effing.
That's his like tight
Fucking,
buggy. Buddy. That's your tight buggy. This is as
loose and
Survivor
open.
Albert as you get.
I'm loose and open,
Buddy, you're tight as a tiger right now.
free and easy.
Oh wait, so you tell me, Albert, have you ever been in an open relationship before, and how do you
Not
feel
that
about
they
this topic? Oh, okay.
No, I've never
Some
been
player.
in one. I don't even. The whole thing like mystifies me. So like, what's weird about me is people meet me and they're like, Albert's this guy's the best. He's really good at cold approach. He's open. He knows how to do
Nobody's
everything.
ever said that.
No, I mean,
He goes, Brennan, tell him. He goes, they say it.
no, in terms of cold approach and teaching and
Yeah.
social skills. But I'm as awkward as I used to be around women and doing cold approach is how I would do. Like, I could never even imagine bringing up to a girl the idea of being in an open thing.
I can't even bring up to a waiter that the food that they brought is wrong.
Right. I'd
Wait,
be too
but wouldn't
embarrassed.
it
I'd be
be
scared.
nice to not like hide that you're like open and she's not though?
I'd be scared. I'd be scared of them thinking I'm a creep for even considering
Albert's
it.
bad with conflict.
I'd just be super uncomfortable. Like, I revert back to me when I didn't know how to open. I'm like, why would I go up to this girl? She's gonna think I'm hitting on her. She's gonna reject me. It's like that whole.
Who's
like,
who is worse with conflict? You or the girl that you're seeing?
No, I'm the worst. I'm terrible. with conflict.
You're worse than her?
Yeah, I'm really bad.
I really
with conflict.
struggled to get that. I go, who
Who did? No, Anna.
There's an owl in here.
Like I don't even know, man. I think I would.
He's panicking about it now.
It's just like such a it's a volatile topic that has like high risk, high reward. But like, I can't imagine bringing that up to a girl and then she's like, "That's what you want," and it could just turn into an ick. It could turn into like such a big turnoff that like I'd be scared to even like bring it up. It's like crazy. Yeah.
So you've never been in an open relationship before?
No, I've never even spoken about it.
Okay.
Fully open, I could never ever do.
Yeah, I could never do fully open.
For sure. No.
It's just not a
So
relationship. In
fully
my
open
opinion,
is what?
it's
Fully open means they can hook up with people
behind each
separately.
other's back,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you can tell each other. It's just
That I
you're
know I
not in a
can't do.
relationship. It's not.
I tell you this, I had a girl yesterday, a couple days ago, she is bi-curious, was definitely trying to incite a fun Parcheesi scenario with the girl that I'm seeing. And my girl's just like not about it at all. Because she does not like girls at all.
Okay.
And again, that's one of those spots where I'm just like, I defer to her. Like her happiness is, no, I'm serious. Her happiness is more important than whatever. Like if she was like, I want to do this, I'd be like, wasn't expecting it, but whatever. If she doesn't want to do it, I'm like, cool. Like it's not that important to me, I think. But yeah, it's a weird spot. I don't think I could ever bring it up.
Yeah.
I don't have the balls to do it. I really don't. I go back to
Have you ever seen? I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I'm not like. Have you ever seen him at a restaurant when they like bring him something slightly incorrect? He literally whispers. He goes, "Excuse me, but if there would be any way to get the."
I used to be shy. I had no skills. And I learned a lot of things.
Please.
This is one thing I haven't learned. Is
Can you
conflict.
please? I'm hungry. Please. Could you please, sir? Could you please? And he always tilts. He always tilts his head like a puppy that's trying to be docile. He goes, please, please. Could you help, please? Ketchup, French fry, please.
That's hilarious.
I actually apologize to them.
Yeah,
I go,
I'm so sorry that I'm going to ask you to do your job right here.
Yeah, I'm like, I ordered a cheeseburger and this is a salad, and technically they're different.
Honestly, though, it does make me a little curious because there are women that prefer swinger type relationships. I don't, but that's even more extreme than what Jay and I
I
have.
know swingers is to me is wild.
So it's
Yeah, I'm
like
afraid of heights.
they're so like I mean I'm like not I don't know that's like more extreme. So I'm like if there's women that something more as extreme as that, I'm sure there's
a hard
other
pass.
women that like
Yeah, it's a hard pass.
It seems to me that the swinger community is like a lot older too, right? It's like it's like couples in their like 50s that are like
very weird.
That
I cannot.
They've done the traditional route for years. That's why I'm thinking that we're going that direction in society, because it's like couples that stay together for a long time end up skewing that way, and then some newer, younger couples are there. I'm in the middle age, literally middle age, and that demo hasn't really skewed that direction yet. But the youngs are and the olds are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at is that the conversation, I feel like, shouldn't be as uncomfortable. I wouldn't be afraid of conflict because there's girls that like that. So it's like,
That's
never
where Albert
know.
comes in. Almost every conversation's uncomfortable.
Like, you never know. Like, some girls may be interested in it. They just haven't gotten the opportunity.
Jared's really good with this too. Jared's good in these awkward spots of like explaining.
Well, because Jared's smart. He knows not to like push the limits, and he knows to like let her lead with it. Like, that's the key. It's like if she's leading with it,
if he senses any type of or discomfort, or if he notices something weird, he'll honestly talk to me about it before I even realize sometimes.
How did you guys come to terms on like what the boundaries are? Like how to set? Because one thing I think I've heard him speak about is that when you have these non-traditional setups, you have to have boundaries. Like it has to be like, this is within bounds. This is like out of, you guys, is it mutually discussed? So like
we set boundaries in the like flat out. And then if we're ever in a scenario where I'm kind of like in my head, wait, I don't like this. Or if he feels that way, we'll pull each other aside and talk about it. And then we just won't do it again. And that's kind of it.
Called timeout, have a team meeting.
Yeah.
They get the whiteboard out, come up with a new strategy. They go, the girl's on the bed, right? You and I are here. We got to come at it from this angle.
I would love it if they do this directly in front of the girl. They're like, pause and like put her hand in her face. And like, what do you think? And then they're like, sorry, Cindy, you got to go. They just like shake her hand and like have her walk out.
What happens. I mean, come on.
What happens.
I mean, we're the most important, like, it's our relationship. So, I mean, it is what it is.
When you kick her out, you ask her to change your wig and come back.
So does this mean that there's girls that are out there? Because, okay, look at it this way.
The correct answer is yes. There's girls that are out there that are going to answer whatever you're going to ask, because there's all sorts of different situations.
But here's my thing, right? Let's look at it this way. They're a couple. They're happy. They're stable. They do their own thing. And they're open to this adjacent human.
Albert can't wrap his mind around it.
No, I'm just saying, does that mean that there's solo travelers that are almost exclusively looking for a duo to set up with?
Actually, some, yeah.
Yeah, they're called homeless
their,
people.
No,
they're looking for a place to sleep.
No, but I'm saying that's their preferred thing, right? They're not even looking for a guy or a girl.
I mean, unicorn. That's literally the term, unicorn.
But I'm saying that that's their ideal setup. Their ideal setup is finding a couple.
I'm sure there is, but I don't feel like that's most people's goals. It's just like a
because I've never met a girl. I've done more cold approach than probably the rest of the city of Fort Lauderdale combined, and I've never met a girl that's like, I'm sorry, I'm only looking for a couple to join. I'm not looking for a guy.
Honestly, my next interview day, I'm gonna like ask women how they feel about the unicorn thing. This will be great.
I think there's some girls that are open to it, but I've never met one girl ever in any walk of life who said, my preferred thing that I'm looking for is that. Maybe have you ever heard of it? Or had a friend like, oh, you don't know about fucking Tiffany. She's only looking for a couple to join. Like,
I don't think that's most girls' goals. I think that's something
I know it's not most. I'm saying, is there any?
I've never heard of one. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there's a lot of like single girls that think it's fun.
I think they experiment to it, but I don't know if they're like looking.
I mean, it's not like it's not something that's going to become official.
If you're if you're watching this episode and you're a unicorn, is that the right term? And you're horny. And you're
or any other sort of mythical beast.
Yeah.
If you're a minotaur
and you're looking for a woolly mammoth like Jared, please comment unicorn, and we want to know. Maybe we'll have you on the,
hashtag bear.
Maybe we'll have you on the program.
Honestly, you know, it's funny. I mean, like he literally just got messages by some girlfriend that's like, "I want you," blah blah blah. Like, I guarantee if you would have
drunk chick.
I guarantee if he would have.
She said, "I want you," or she wants you guys.
She said she wants him. I guarantee if he would have talked to her, she would have been open to the fact that I'm also here.
Right. No, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the lease. She's got to know you're not going anywhere.
Okay. No, but I look at it like, oh, this is going to be a bad analogy, but no, I'm going for it. And then if you go to a steakhouse and you want a steak and they're like, comes with baked potato, you're like, sure, I'll take the baked potato.
I mean, also, though, like,
very few people are going to be like, I just want the steak. They're like, it comes with a baked potato. You're like, sure, bring it out. Maybe I'll nibble on the potato too. That's what I look at it. Like, if they want the one thing,
then they're not.
They're probably okay.
They wouldn't
with the
even
side.
make it to the restaurant, though. Then you would just be a phone call. It wouldn't even make it to the restaurant. They wouldn't even be here.
We don't have any reservations for you.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It would never like.
That's good.
Jared's like table of 2 or 3. Oh man,
that's funny. That's good stuff. Sorry, we're losing my mic here. Fix this thing.
Fix. Don't edit out. I like when there's technical difficulty.
He loves the
Leave it
technical
in.
difficulties.
Leave it in. I hope it falls. That's when the episode's over. Look,
All right, let me ask you this, Anna. Controversial question. Controversial.
he's
Here
not
it
even
comes.
talking into the mic because he can't figure it out.
Yeah, I can't do it. Here comes a controversial moment.
Yeah, now it's getting controversial.
Anna, are you guys potentially planning to procreate?
What do you mean? Have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we get
By
married.
definition.
So, if kids arrive, does that mean the party's over? Fun time's done?
No, that becomes the nanny.
It would.
Are you able to now be like, this
It
is
would-
on purple hair?
So it would never. I would never want my kids to be around that. So it would
So does that mean
definitely
it's
be.
over,
It
or-
would definitely be backburned.
Okay.
100%. It would be.
You could do like
backburned.
getaway weekends and stuff where. Okay. No, I'm just spitballing here. I'm like, what happens?
Yeah.
He's so curious. He's
Yeah.
like making notes.
It
He's like,
would-
and then what do you
it would
say?
never happen in front of the kids. 100%. I mean, weekend away, just the parents. Who knows?
Have you ever dated a girl that had kids?
No.
No. Or even like long-term like hookup, hangout situation?
No.
Interesting. I have. And I feel like the single mothers and what they intelligently do a good job of like separating like, newer
dating life and stuff.
dating folks
have
with
to.
like their family.
Yeah, you have to.
Kids need like
That
consistency
literally is
and
trauma.
I think
stability.
you can traumatize people with
It's
that, right?
trauma.
Because like I think if
You don't want to do that
and
to
again,
your
I'm not
kids.
projecting because I don't know what might happen, but I think if you guys, had kids and then kept bringing people and the kid eventually
Yeah, that would never happen,
connected
but-
dots, that
Yeah.
could be problematic.
Thanks, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I'm like doing like pseudo
Lighthearted
psychology.
dating show. He's like, this is going to cause trauma to your future kids.
Yeah, you're like this is gonna make some major damage.
Yeah. how about a parent who can't fix a mic stand?
Buddy, I'm not very handy. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do this. I thought I.
We got to talk about that on the next episode. Like what girls want handiness wise in a relationship because it can't be this.
But that's good. It's fixed. It's fixed.
I mean, actually, side note, both your parents are together, right?
No.
Opposite.
No. Okay,
Couldn't be more
so
Opposite.
okay, so what about you guys? Have you guys, with the experiences of seeing new dads, new moms, stepdad, stepmom, boyfriends, girlfriends, with parents?
I was old as dirt when my parents got divorced.
Okay.
So
He wasn't
it
that
didn't
old.
affect me.
Brandon's cool with his mom and dating, from my understanding. Like his mom tells him about his dates and stuff, and like him and his mom have a very good relationship with that kind of stuff.
We're pals.
My dad has been an eternal bachelor. Basically, he never remarried, never had kids. Reminds me of a friend of mine that I know. And then my mom just like, yeah, they had like stepdads, but we never like.
Man.
I don't know. I never really saw my mom date. It was just like, yeah, she had a stepdad when I was real young. And then, I don't know. I never saw a lot of like transient. I didn't see it much. But
You see a lot of transient now, no?
no. It's a little more solid now.
I'm just
I don't know. I think that like,
Brent thinks I'm funny.
I think divorce is so
Brent thinks I'm
common.
funny.
Yeah.
Divorce is common. I think it's just like not really. My parents divorced so young that I never felt like I was from a divorced family. I just felt like that was just like what life is, because it's like what I knew my whole life. This one over here, like you said, he was older when his parents got split
I was
up.
old as dirt, yeah.
Yeah.
My
Your
li-
parents together or no?
I know they got divorced.
Did they? Yeah.
some wig person walked in
Jared's
and
the
they
only
were like,
one. His parents have been hanging in there
Yeah.
for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
strong.
pillar of
God
happiness.
bless Marty. That guy's a grinder. He's been grinding. He's been grinding for years. That guy. He's a
Oh,
grinder.
Just grind it out.
He's a grinder, man. Oh, do you have a good relationship with their parent, with Jared's parents, or what?
Yeah.
Her voice
they're
got really
awesome.
squeaky there.
I mean,
Try
they're
it again.
awesome.
His mom used to scare
I'll
me.
ask her now. Do you have a good relationship with Jared's parents?
His mom used to
Yeah,
scare
we
me.
do. It's just his mom's dog scares me.
She used to scare me. She would show up to our house where we lived, and I thought she was like mad at me, or because she's like, "Where's Jared?"
Oh no,
Like,
that's just the way she is. She loves him.
No,
she's
I would like
such
she'd
a
knock on the
mom.
door.
Nobody loves anybody on this earth more than she loves him.
I would
Yeah.
open the door, and she would literally say, "Where's Jared?" And I'm like, "Is he
She's
on
like,
fire?"
nothing matters.
Is he
I want my
dead?
child.
And then I just realized she like doesn't do like greetings and stuff. She's not
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, how are you? Hello,
She
Albert."
literally just wants to see Jared to
Yeah.
question the crap out of him.
She just wants
Hallmark's
to
her
And then,
least
just,
favorite
and then
place.
just to throw
What?
things
Hallmark's
at
her
him.
least favorite place. No greetings.
no greetings. She just goes right to the point, which actually kind of
She's
rubbed
very
off.
sweet. We
Yeah.
always like
She's
meet
just
for
very worried about
dinner.
Jared all the time.
Yeah. For Christmas, she has a sign that just says seasons. No greetings.
She goes right to the point. Huh?
Just seasons. Yeah.
She was happy.
Yeah, you pick one. Seasons.
She was
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, happy.
No holiday.
No.
Oh, well, on that note, guys, well, it's been a fun episode. If you enjoy the program, please like, subscribe, and comment. We like all of your feedback. For Brandon and Anna, I'm Albert. We'll see you guys in the next one.